my channel. I have been asked to talk about my family, which is one of my favorite things to do. I grew up in a big Catholic family. There were 10 of us. We all got along pretty well for the most part. And so I'm just gonna talk a little bit about that because people are kind of curious about what it was like growing up with such a big family and being Catholic. And I had my mom on my video the other day, and I feel like that might be partly why people are interested in this subject. But so I grew up, I was the fourth of 10 kids, and we all got along for the most part pretty well, I would say. We definitely had, you know, where we butted heads with some people, but for the most part, we all really liked each other and got along, and now that we're adults, we get along even better. But I would say that growing up in a big family was awesome. It made me want to have a big family because I have so many friends that God gave me through my siblings that I just would love that for my family. But on top of that, we never were bored. We always had somebody to play with. We were very adventurous. We lived on a lake, like kind of in the middle of nowhere in Minnesota. And it was really pretty awesome to have that friendship and all of that with my siblings. My mom was very busy. When I was growing up, she was very busy because I was the fourth oldest, so they were a lot younger than me. And I liked helping her a lot. I've always been kind of the mothering type, and so this is one way that I could help her was by helping with the younger kids. And she encouraged that, of course, because she needed a lot of help. But I just remember growing up that, you know, she was always very busy, and it didn't really bother me because I had so many siblings to kind of play with and enjoy their time. And so we never really played with our mom. She was more in charge of making the food and cleaning, and you know, she had her own thing. She did a lot of Bible studies, and so she would maybe read if she had any downtime. But for the most part, my memory of my childhood was really awesome, really good. I really enjoyed my childhood. We didn't have a ton of money. We definitely weren't like super well off or anything like that. You know, as my parents, my mom always shopped at garage sales and thrift stores, and so I never had like name brand awesome clothes or anything like that, but I really didn't mind that. It didn't bother me that I didn't have any of those things. Now, I wish that I could say the same for my siblings, but I think that it did bother them that they didn't have, you know, the name brand of everything. And with just a big family like that, that's all you can do is just get the secondhand things, and that was fine with me. So anyway, I would love to say that all of my siblings are awesome, devout Catholic men and women to this day, but that is just not the truth. They're all great and awesome, but they are not really into the faith, not all of us. I would say the 10 of us, we are all completely different. None of us are even close to being alike, I would say. In fact, my older sister, like, I remember going into high school and people could not comprehend that she was my sister. Like, we don't look alike. Our personalities are totally different. She was more rebellious and, you know, kind of, I don't know, not the nicest to people, I guess. People were really afraid of her, let's just say that. And I was the opposite. Like, I, you know, was very timid and shy and that sort of thing. So we were like, her and I are completely different, and we get along really well right now, you know, these days, but back then it was, our relationship was a challenge, I think, for both of us. So I have 3 sisters, and two of them are very devout Catholics, and one, my older sister, she, I would say that church and, I don't know if God's the center of her life. That's, her own personal thing, but I know she doesn't go to church very often, and, I don't know if she talks to her kids about the faith, but my other 2 sisters are all about the Catholic faith. They love Catholicism. They love, talking about the faith and sharing it. And so, like, we could talk for hours about the faith, and I absolutely love that. My younger sister, Karen, she went to Steubenville, and I feel like she really excelled there in her personal relationship with God. She, she studied theology and just really blossomed, I would say, when she went to Steubenville. My sister Stephanie went to Ave Maria in Florida, and same thing, it, just really blossomed there and really loved it. And now she is studying to be a lawyer. She got a full ride to be a lawyer at Ave Maria. And so it's just, I'm really proud of them. I love that I can share my faith with them and talk about God. And I would say that my mother was a big driving point for that, because she really encouraged all of us, to learn about God, to talk about God. And so I think that that's partly why, the ones who are devout because of her devotion and her being so open about her faith and her love for God and the Blessed Virgin and all of that. She really was really open, and to this day is very open about her faith and just loves God tremendously. All my brothers are very different. They had, I don't know where they all stand as far as their faith with God, and I think that's probably pretty normal. I feel like guys don't share as much, and so I don't know how devout they are. I know my brother Randy really, he asked his wife now, but before they got married to become Catholic, and she did. So she went through RCIA, and so that means a lot to him. One of my brothers does want to be, or has talked about wanting to be a priest, and he's my youngest, and he just, he's out of high school now and kind of trying to figure out his life. So there is definitely a love there for him. I do have one brother that really doesn't care about God, like just, thinks that it's not the most, that he's not the most amazing being, which makes me so sad, because obviously God is the most amazing being. He is way better than we are and stuff. So anyway, so my point is that all of us, even though we were all brought up Catholic, and we pray the Rosary every Sunday and go to church every Sunday, we really didn't, we all took our own paths. And I think for me, what I take away from that is, kind of what my mom said to me was, teach them the faith, teach it well, do what you can to encourage the faith, and then let your children fly. They're gonna become the people they're gonna become. Obviously, we can encourage them, but at some point, we can't force it on them. That's not something that, anyone can do. That's something that everyone has to decide for their own. And so anyway, I absolutely loved growing up in a big Catholic family, and I wish that all my siblings were devout Catholics, and I have great hope that they will be. But that's kind of my story. That's, what I grew up with, and the challenges, I guess, of maybe having a big family. But I think the good way outweigh the bad. I just think that big Catholic families are amazing, and just big families in general. There's just so much love. There's somebody that you could always talk to. There's just, like a friendship that is already built in, that God gave you. And I see that with my boys, you know, that they just love each other so much. And I hope to have that for my family as well, where I am just as open about God with them, and hope that I can plant that seed that will grow in them to become the men, and I guess a woman, that God intended them to be. And that's the ultimate goal, really, is for my children to do God's will. Not my will, but God's will. And so anyway, I hope that this answers a lot of your questions, and feel free to ask me any, and I can reply them in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.